Announced a couple of years ago and delayed after a change in direction halfway through development, Witchfire, the latest from the folks behind the cult FPS Painkiller and the classic walk 'em up The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, has arrived in early access. Taking on the role as the Pope's personal witch hunter, players are tasked with exactly that, hunting witches. Along the way, they'll need to destroy the witch's forces, level up some gear, unleash some magic, and die. A whole lot. Witchfire is, at its heart, an FPS roguelike, and it comes with all that genre entails. You start the game with a basic pistol and no skills, and as you play you gain permanent upgrades, new weapons, new spells and new abilities. If you've ever played Hades or Dead Cells, Witchfire shares a similar progression structure. That said, there is one key difference. Each run gives players the option to get the hell out of the level if they can make it to an exit portal. The reason for this is that if you die, you bring none of your upgrade currency, which is funnily enough known as Witchfire, with you. So you won't be able to use it for various upgrades in between runs. In a move obviously inspired by those Souls games out there, if on the next run you can get back to where you died, you can reclaim everything you lost. Should you die before you do though, it's gone forever. It's a wonderfully addictive risk-reward mechanic that had me coming back time and time again. Like all good roguelikes, it has that one more turn factor that is so important to the genre. As I progressed, daring myself to go further and further each run, I constantly found myself on the edge of getting back to the portal in time and avoiding crushing defeat. What's more, while the map stays the same, the entry point each time I started a run is different, so I often found myself having to cover quite a bit of distance through tons of enemies to get back to where I died previously. On more than one occasion, my quest to reclaim lost goodies ended in tears because of this. While wandering through the map, you can come across areas that need to be cleansed of enemies. These are all marked appropriately based on how tough they are, and are worth clearing out because each time you do, you get the choice of one of 3 random bonuses that do things like improve your health, give you more damage, or make enemies weaker. These bonuses only last during the run they appear in and can't be taken with you out of the portal. When you do escape from a run with all of your Witchfire, you can use it to research new guns, spells and abilities, as well as level up basic stats like health, stamina and luck. As a further upgrade path, weapons can be upgraded if they are used enough, giving them a powerful secondary ability in the process. There is a lot here that allowed me to customise my avatar as I saw fit, really tailoring how I approach counters in the process. The goal of all this upgrading is to eventually beat the map boss. Tackling the boss is a massive challenge, and it takes all the skill and ability you've earned during your previous runs. Should the boss be defeated, a new map opens up and you can continue your quest in a new area. What's more, as I leveled up my character, the enemies, traps and encounters got harder, so there is no chance that I could grind my way to an easy victory. The game just doesn't allow for that. In-game, the moment-to-moment action starts out a little slow, with a single pistol and no abilities to help players out. But after a few upgrades, there are a host of things that get added into the mix, like dashes that leave bombs behind, lightning strikes on weak enemies, and explosive bullets that really mix the FPS action up nicely. There is also a stamina system that gives you more stamina as you kill, but you lose that stamina if you get hit. I had a great time dashing about with reckless abandon once I had a nice stamina boost, and it really made me feel like an unstoppable force. What's more, I've been playing on both keyboard and mouse as well as a controller, and both work perfectly well in the game, which gives high hope for the eventual console release down the track. Graphically, the game is looking nice without being outstanding. The enemy design is wonderful and the weapons themselves are all fantastic, but the colour palette and general environment are both a little dull, and it can make things hard to identify. There are also few, expected glitches where players can get stuck in the environment. This was obviously known by the developers as they included an unstuck command in the game's menu. Finally, the biggest issue I have at this point is the game's balance. It seems off in many encounters, with some enemies or enemy combinations seemingly overpowered, and the game feels like it takes a little too long to get moving. I expect all of these issues to be resolved during the early access period, as developers get valuable insight into what's causing issues among players. With 2 full maps to play, a host of upgrades, spells and weapons already available, and some tight addictive FPS gameplay, Witchfire is already a good prospect, even though it has just been released into early access. The very talented team behind the game are clearly onto a winner here, and I fully expect this game to gain quite the following in the lead up to its full release. Should things progress as I expect them to, Witchfire could be the next big roguelike obsession for the masses, because even at this early point in time, I'm finding it hard to not keep going back for more. I can't wait to see how this game grows and evolves over the early access period, as it heads into what is hopefully a successful full release. Witchfire is available now on PC's Epic Games Store. If you liked this preview, make sure you head over to player2.net.au and check out the written version of it, or click the link above to see another video preview that we've put our love and effort into. Thank you for joining us on this preview, and we'll catch you next time on Player 2.